Hey agents, welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today we're diving deep into the expertise system and uncovering the best ways to level up your expertise fast. So if you're tired of countless hours grinding and want to know the fastest way to level up your expertise, then this video is for you. After spending quite a bit of time trying different methods to level up my expertise, I found one simple method in particular that surprisingly many people are unaware of. And this method is by far the fastest way to level up your expertise, as you will be avoiding hours of grinding. Now, I've made a video in the past explaining this method, but in this video, I'll be going into much greater detail for those of you who still don't understand. This is by far the fastest way to level up your expertise, and what's even better is that anyone can do this regardless of your SHD watch level. However, the more watch level points you have, the more effective this strategy is. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, for those of you who don't know, the expertise system is a way to make your character stronger by improving your weapons, gear, and skills. Here's how it works. The more you use a specific weapon or piece of gear, the more proficient you get with it. This is called gaining proficiency. So in other words, each time you use an item, you earn XP towards it and gain proficiency rank. And when you reach enough XP, you level up your proficiency for that item. After you reach max proficiency, you can upgrade the item to make it more powerful. Upgrading your weapons will help you deal out more damage, while upgrading your gear will give you more survivability. Think of it like leveling up your favorite weapon or piece of gear so it can deal more damage or protect you better. And keep in mind that you don't have to fully max out the proficiency on every item to level up your expertise level. Your expertise level increases every time you level up the proficiency of an item. So if I were to level this M1911 to proficiency rank 2, for example, it would add a point towards my expertise level. I hope that makes sense. So as you're leveling the proficiency of any of your gear or weapon pieces, each level you reach will give you a point toward your expertise level. So if you take a look at my alt character, I'm at 151. And I need 49 points to reach expertise level 4, so that's 49 more proficiency rank levels of any item. Now that you kind of have an idea of how the expertise system works, let's jump into the best ways to level it up fast. So if you take a look over here, you can see that every weapon and item in the game is sectioned into different categories. The weapons, gear, and brand sets are the fastest to level, so I recommend starting with those, and I'll show you the best way to do that in a second. But for the weapons and named items, what you can do is pull up your map and visit all of the settlements in DC, as well as the Haven settlement in the Warlords of New York expansion. Each of these settlements has vendors that sell a named item. What you can do is buy these named items with credits and donate them as junk towards your expertise level. Now, one thing to note is that it will take donating 20 times to reach max proficiency, which is a lot quicker than leveling the proficiency rank from having it equipped. Now, keep in mind that these vendors reset once per week, so you will have 4 different named items for each settlement, including the Haven settlement in the Warlords of New York expansion. This is a great way to level the proficiency of named items, especially the ones that you may be having a hard time attaining. Because let's face it, RNG in Division 2 may suck at times. You can also do this with any other weapons that the vendor may be selling. Just avoid doing this with gear unless it's a named item gear, because you won't be getting as much, so it would be a waste. So for example, you don't want to do it with this Petrov Defense Group gloves unless it's the named contractor's gloves, because for the gear and brand sets, countdown works the best, or farming control points, and I'll show you why in a second. This is a great way to max the proficiency of your weapons and named items fast. One of the quickest ways to level up the proficiency of any of your brand and gear sets is to have a full 6-piece set equipped while playing on a high difficulty level. So, why 6? Well, that's because by having more pieces of the brand or gear set equipped, you will gain more XP toward the proficiency rank. Same thing applies to any other gear or brand set in the game. And by playing on a higher difficulty, you will be getting a lot more XP towards the proficiency of your gear. And the best way to do this is by running countdown on heroic. So let's say you're trying to level up the proficiency of the Fenris Group brand set, for example. You want to have 6 pieces of Fenris equipped, then run the countdown mission on heroic difficulty. If you don't have a full 6-piece set, then what you can do is select the set you would like to get max proficiency with first as your targeted loot. Then as the pieces you need begin to drop for you during the countdown mission, start equipping them. Then, once you have a full 6-piece set, donate the rest as junk towards your expertise rank and just rinse and repeat until you get all of your brand sets and gear sets proficient. This method is very effective and time efficient if your watch level is under 1,000. But if your watch level level is over 1,000, you can actually use your excess watch level points to get material and donate towards your expertise level. And if you're confused about that, don't worry because I'll explain it to you step by step. So you're basically skipping all of the grind. I went over this in a previous video, but I will be going more in depth in this video and I will get to that in a minute. Also, keep in mind that completing any activity in Division 2 that gives you XP will also give XP towards the proficiency of your gear. With that being said, don't forget about completing your daily and weekly projects. Completing your weekly projects alone will give you 700,000 XP along with other goodies like exotic components and caches. These daily and weekly projects can also be done on any additional characters that you may have. Now, on the other hand, you can clear control points as well. Completing control points in the open world of the Division 2 is a great way to level up your expertise fast. This is because you will be getting a ton of loot that you can mark as junk and donate towards your expertise level, not to mention the loot crate that you get from capturing the control point, which will give you even more loot. And if you didn't know, you can reset control points at any given time. This is really nice if you have a favorite control point that's super easy for you to farm. So to do that, just pull up your mini-map and toggle the global settings. Also, keep an eye out for the global events because activating the global events will greatly benefit you as you will be getting global event credits that you can use to purchase items at the vendor right over here, just outside the base of operations. So now this next method that I will be showing you is hands down the fastest way to level up your expertise. And surprisingly, many players are not aware of it, but you can actually donate material to rank up the proficiency rank of any piece of gear, skill, or weapon in the Division 2. This also includes any raid exclusive exotics, whether you own them or not. And that's another thing to note, you don't need to own any item in order to donate material to level up its proficiency rank. So keep that in mind, guys. Now this of course means that you will need quite a bit of material, but if you have a decent amount of watch level, you can start another character and level that character to 40. Once you reach level 40 and make your way back to Washington and visit the base of operations, you can speak to Inaya Al-Khalik by the crafting station and collect your shared resources and watch level points from your main character. Then you can use these extra points to buy material, which you can then use to donate. So let me show you a very cost-efficient way of doing this because you don't just want to buy any material resource to donate. Many players like to buy printer filaments because it's the only resource that requires the least amount to donate. This is good, but if your watch level isn't crazy high, you might want to consider buying gear mods from any of the settlement vendors and deconstructing them to get printer filaments. You will get more filaments this way, and it's very cost-effective. That way you will make better use of your precious watch level points. One watch level point will get you 10 printer filaments, but if you were to spend one watch level point on credits instead, you'll get 10k credits, which you can use to buy gear mods and deconstruct. This will give you 12 as opposed to getting 10, and each gear mod is really cheap, just a little over 4,500 credits. So if you do the math, you'll be getting an extra 2 printer filaments from each point. Not much, but it adds up. This may also be very time consuming, but it's well worth it in the long run. So that's the fastest way by far. The only caveat is you'll need to have a high watch level. Now, if you are at a low watch level, what I recommend you do is a fast XP farm to get your watch level up. And if you want to know the best way to level up your watch and farm XP fast, then check out this video. And I'll also leave a link in the description and comment section. Then after you've gotten a decent amount of watch level, you can start a new character, reach level 40, and claim your watch level points to start donating and leveling up your expertise. This is Prajna. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it to the end of this video, you are a gem and a truly amazing person. A lot of people have a very short attention span, and you are the exception. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back at you. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and peace out.